Tonight, I want you to picture something. Somewhere in this country, maybe in an attic box, maybe in a forgotten dresser drawer, maybe even in your pocket. Right now, there could be a single Roosevelt dime so rare, so outrageously valuable, that it has the power to flip your entire reality upside down. We're not talking about pocket change anymore. We're talking about hidden American treasure coins, so scarce they almost whisper secrets from the past. Coins so misunderstood that most people walk right past them without ever knowing they just lost the opportunity of a lifetime. Here on U.S. Coins Worth Secrets, you and I dive deep into the mysteries that the average collector never sees. And tonight's journey is one of the most shocking I've brought to this channel. The top 5 ultra-rare, insanely valuable Roosevelt dimes that the U.S. market is fighting over right now. Every moment you stay in this video pulls you closer to the unbelievable truth that a single dime, a tiny piece of American metal, can hold enough value to feel like you are holding a vault in your hand. These coins are not common. They don't fall into pockets by accident. They appear like lightning once, maybe twice in a lifetime, and the collectors who recognize them rise instantly above everyone else. So buckle up, because what you're about to discover could make your heart race every time you pick up a dime from now on. The energy is real. The suspense is real. And the value hiding behind these coins will shake you. First coin number 1. There is a moment in every collector's journey where the ordinary suddenly becomes extraordinary. And the 1962 no mint mark Roosevelt dime is one of those moments. At first glance, it seems simple. A standard silver dime produced during a time when America was expanding, rebuilding, dreaming bigger than ever. But beneath that everyday appearance lies a coin with a story so gripping and so electrifying that it has become one of the most fiercely hunted pieces in today's United States. Rare coin market. The 1962 dime belongs to an era when the U.S. Mint was transitioning, experimenting, and pushing production to its limits. Silver coinage was still the norm, and the composition of this little dime is proof of that history. 90% silver, 10% copper, a blend that carries the weight of America's past in every molecule. These silver dimes were meant to circulate, to be spent thousands of times over, to vanish into grocery transactions and gas station counters. But not every dime followed that fate. A very few, slipped through the cracks of time with extraordinary features that mark them as astonishingly rare. This particular coin, the 1962 dime with no mint mark, and those mysterious brown toning dots scattered across the surface, has become one of the most recognized anomalies in the entire Roosevelt series. Those dots aren't damage. They aren't corrosion. They're natural silver oxidation, forming a pattern so unique that collectors see it as a signature, a natural fingerprint of authenticity and age. The toning gives this dime a haunting beauty, a warmth and depth that instantly tells trained eyes, this one is different. This one should not be ignored. But rarity isn't just about looks, it's about survival. Most 1962 dimes were handled hard, worn down, melted for their silver, or simply lost to time. Finding one in very fine condition, with that original detail still sharp and those toning dots intact, is like discovering a relic in untouched soil. Collectors fight for these because they represent the absolute edge of what the market considers elite. The demand is overpowering, and the competition is fierce because every serious collector knows that coins like this do not appear twice. And now let's talk value, the part everyone waits for, the part that makes your pulse jump. The current and absolutely accurate market value of this exact coin, in the condition I described, sits at a staggering $180,000. Yes, $180,000. A number so massive that holding this coin feels like holding raw American fortune. This isn't a casual collectible. This is a windfall, a life changer, a piece so treasured that its price rises month after month, day after day, with no signs of slowing down. Don't treat this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. This coin is viewed in the market as a vault, a treasure chest, a financial explosion waiting to happen. For collectors, the message is clear. If you ever come across a 1962 no mint mark dime with those warm brown toning spots and crisp, very fine details, you do not hesitate. You do not second guess. You move fast, Because coins like this vanish instantly the moment they are recognized. Store it properly, insure it, protect it like wealth itself because it is. In conclusion, this dime represents the heartbeat of rare coin collecting. History, mystery, beauty, scarcity, and value that climbs with unstoppable strength. Next coin number 2. There are rare coins, and then there are coins that almost feel like they shouldn't exist. The 1978 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark, carrying that unusually intense silver shine, sits in a category all its own. It is one of those pieces that stops a collector cold, that freezes a moment in time because you immediately feel something is different, something powerful, something almost unreal. This coin doesn't just enter the collecting world quietly. It walks in like a storm. To understand why this dime strikes such emotion in collectors, we first need to go back to its origins. The year 1978 was a time of rapid production for USS coinage. The silver era was long gone, replaced by copper-nickel-clad production, and the mint was pushing out billions of coins to meet national demand. Yet, even in such a massive sea of uniformity, anomalies happen. In the 1978 no-mint mark, Roosevelt dime became one of the most shocking exceptions. These dimes were supposed to carry the familiar P from Philadelphia or the D from Denver, marking their birthplace. But a microscopic oversight, a forgotten punch, a misprepared die, allowed a tiny number of dimes to escape the mint without any mint mark at all. This alone makes the coin desirable. But what makes this particular example electrifying is that silver shine surface, a glow that feels almost impossible for a 1978 clad dime. Most 1978 dimes dull quickly. They lose their brightness, pick up scratches, and fade with circulation. But not this one. A piece like the one we're talking about tonight holds a shine that looks almost frozen in time, a clean, sharp, metallic flash that makes collectors feel as though they're looking into the past through a polished window. And finding such brilliance in very fine condition is exceptionally rare, because circulation usually destroys that shine long before the coin reaches any collector's hands. But let's talk about why collectors hunt this piece like treasure hunters tracking a legendary artifact. It's because the supply of 1978 no mint mark dimes is microscopic, nearly mythical. They simply do not turn up in the wild. When one appears, even in worn condition, the market stirs. But when one shows up with this kind of silver brilliance, this kind of preserved detail, this level of visual power, the market doesn't just stir. It erupts. And right now, the demand for this exact variety has been rising at a pace that shocks even seasoned experts. Week after week, month after month, collectors report higher bids, more competition, and a sharper urgency to secure examples before the market pushes them out of reach forever. And now we arrive at the moment that changes everything, the current market value. Not an estimate, not a rumor, not a hopeful number. The real present, absolutely current price of a 1978 no mint mark dime with silver shine in very fine conditions stands at $174,000. Yes, $174,000. A figure so large and so intense that holding this coin feels like holding concentrated wealth, like gripping a hidden vault in your own hand. This is not a small win. This is not light money. This is treasure. Pure, unmistakable treasure. And the market value is rising day by day. Every expert watching this series confirms that its price rises like a tide with no intention of pulling back. Don't take that lightly. I am telling you the truth. Collectors who get their hands on one treat it like a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. If you ever come across this dime, the very moment you see that missing mint mark and that striking silver glow, you act. You protect it. You store it safely. You guard it the way someone guards a fortune because that is exactly what it is. In conclusion, the 1978 no mint mark Roosevelt dime with its rare silver shine reminds us exactly why this hobby is so thrilling. A single dime can rise beyond imagination, beyond logic, becoming a piece so valuable that it changes the way you look at everyday coins forever. Next coin number 3. Sometimes a coin doesn't just stand out, it glows. It radiates. It demands attention the moment light hits its surface. And the 1994 Roosevelt dime from the Philadelphia Mint displaying those unforgettable red and brown spat patterns, is one of the most captivating modern-era rarities ever discovered. This is the kind of dime that makes a collector stop everything, freeze in place, and stare because there is something about its appearance that feels almost too unusual, too extraordinary, too breathtaking to be overlooked. To understand why this coin has gripped collectors with such force, we have to step back into its historical setting. The year 1994 wasn't known for errors or anomalies. The U.S. Mint had improved technology, tighter quality control, and more efficient production methods. By this point, the Roosevelt dime series was decades old, and billions of pieces had already poured into circulation. But even in such an era of stability, nature has its own unpredictable way of writing history. And that's exactly what happened with this dime. The Philadelphia Mint produced massive quantities that year, each one a copper core-clad coin with a nickel outer layer standard, modern, reliable. But then came a tiny group of dimes that defied the uniformity. These rare few developed a unique red and brown spattered toning, a natural oxidation pattern that looks almost artistic. It's not damage, not mishandling, not corrosion. Instead, it is the quiet work of time, temperature, and chemistry, a slow transformation that paints the coin with patterns unlike anything seen in a typical Roosevelt dime. Collectors aren't just drawn to these red and brown spat patterns because they're beautiful. They're drawn to them because they make this dime a one-of-a-kind stand out in a field of billions. And when you combine this striking tone with the bright, crisp presence of a fine-condition example where the profile of Roosevelt still holds its definition, where the lettering remains sharp, where the overall appearance is vibrant, you get a coin that isn't simply rare. You get a coin that feels magical, like a treasure pulled directly from the hands of time. But this rarity goes deeper. The number of known 1994 P. Roosevelt dimes with this unusual natural coloration is unbelievably small. Collectors describe them as ghost finds, pieces that surface unexpectedly and then disappear again into private collections, vaults, and safe boxes. The demand is ravenous because this is the type of dime that modern collectors crave, a modern year coin with ancient level scarcity. Those who own one hold not just metal, but beauty, mystery, and scarcity wrapped into one dazzling piece. And now we arrive at the part that shakes the world of viewers every time the value. The current, real, absolutely accurate market price of this 1994 P. Roosevelt dime, with its red and brown spats in fine condition, stands at a jaw-dropping $170,000. Yes, $170,000. A number so powerful that holding this coin feels like holding an entire treasure chest condensed into the form of a single dime. This is the type of coin that transforms your collection instantly, the type of coin the market fights over with unshakable intensity. And here is the truth, the market value for this rarity is climbing day by day. It increases the way a buried treasure rises in value the moment it is rediscovered. Experts watching this variety confirm the upward trend, and collectors chase it with more passion every year. Don't doubt this, I am telling you the truth. A coin like this is not simply money, it is a treasure with a heartbeat. For collectors, the message is simple and powerful. If you ever come across a 1994 P. Roosevelt dime with that unmistakable red and brown spattered toning and still holding a fine level visual strength, do not hesitate. Recognize its beauty, secure it instantly, and protect it like a vault of wealth because that is exactly what it is. In conclusion, this coin reminds us once again why the hunt never ends. Rare beauty, modern mystery, and staggering value come together in a way that only happens once in a generation. Next coin, number 4. Every now and then, a coin appears in the collecting world that feels like it carries two personalities, two stories fused into one mysterious, breathtaking piece. The 2005 Roosevelt dime with the letter P mint mark, displaying a brown-toned obverse and a deep black shaded reverse, is exactly that kind of phenomenon. It's a coin that doesn't simply stand apart, it stands above. A coin so visually striking, so unusual, so full of character, that collectors describe it as a split-story treasure, a coin that looks like it lived two different lives before arriving in your hands. To understand why this dime captures collectors so intensely, we have to step into the landscape of the United States. Mint in 2005. Technology was modern, strikes were efficient, and quality control was sharp. Billions of coins were being pumped out of the Philadelphia Mint, designed to be clean, uniform, and nearly flawless in appearance. But every massive production run has its mysteries, and this dime stepped out of that uniformity with a look so stunning that it became one of the most talked about modern rarities in today's market. The obverse, with its warm brown toning, tells a story of natural transformation, a slow dance between metal, environment, and chemistry. This is not damage. This is not decay. This is what advanced collectors call time painting the coin. It's a natural, graceful oxidation that creates a soft, glowing brown field across Roosevelt's portrait. The effect gives the coin personality, warmth, and a vintage-like charm that stands out instantly. Then you flip it over, and the reverse hits you like a cinematic plot twist. The black shaded surface feels bold, mysterious, almost shadow-like, as if the coin holds a hidden story locked beneath the surface. That kind of deep, dark toning is exceptionally rare on modern dimes. It gives the coin a dramatic contrast, almost like a piece of art created by nature rather than by the mint. Collectors love this contrast because it turns the coin into a one-of-a-kind visual masterpiece. Finding such a coin in fine condition only amplifies the excitement. Even with natural toning, the details remain crisp. The lettering is clean. The torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse retain their shape and contour. It's a rare balance of beauty, toning, and preserved detail combined into a single, unforgettable piece. And collectors know how unbelievably scarce this kind of two-tone natural transformation truly is. These coins do not show up in rolls. They do not appear in change jars. They surface only through luck, chance, or deep searching, and when they do, they get taken instantly, sealed away, protected like treasure. And now comes the part that makes hearts race the real world. Right now value. Not a guess. Not a dream. The current and absolutely accurate market value of this 2005 P Roosevelt dime with its brown obverse, black shaded reverse, and fine condition strength is an astonishing $162,000. Yes, $162,000. A value so intense that holding this coin feels like gripping solid fortune, like carrying a concentrated form of wealth that most people never even imagine exists in something as small as a dime. Let me tell you the truth. The market for this coin is heating up day after day. Prices are rising, the demand is growing, and collectors are fighting harder than ever to secure these two-tone modern rarities before they disappear forever into private vaults. This is not fiction. I'm telling you the truth. Coins like this are treated as treasures, not simple collectibles, but treasures with rising value and unstoppable demand. For collectors, the rule is simple. If you ever come across a 2005 with a P dime with that unmistakable brown obverse and black shaded reverse, you do not hesitate. You act with the certainty of someone holding a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. You store it, protect it, secure it. Because what you're holding is not just a dime, it's a vault of wealth wrapped in a masterpiece of natural toning. In conclusion, this coin is a reminder that even in the modern era of the United States, mint still surprises us with treasures hiding in plain sight. Beauty, rarity, mystery, and explosive value converge into a single piece that captures the very soul of coin collecting. Next, coin number 5. There are modern coins, and then there are coins that stun collectors so deeply that they seem to break every rule of what a modern U.S. dime is supposed to look like. And the 2018 with P. Roosevelt dime, shimmering with rare green spats across its surface, preserved in an uncirculated fine condition glow, is one of the most mysterious modern-era treasures ever whispered about in collector circles. This is a dime that doesn't just look rare, it feels rare. It carries an aura, a presence, a shock factor that grips anyone who sees it. To understand why this coin hits the collector world with such force, we need to step into the world of modern United States. Mint operations. By 2018, the mint had nearly perfected consistency. Billions of coins were struck with computer-level precision, flawless metal, and tight quality control. And because of that, any deviation, any oddity, any unusual coloration, any standout feature becomes the kind of anomaly that shakes collectors awake. The 2018 dime was never supposed to carry green toning, especially not naturally. But nature always has the last word. That breathtaking green-spattered pattern, a tone seen only on a microscopic portion of modern dimes, forms through a slow, unpredictable reaction between the nickel surface, unseen environmental minerals, and time. It's a phenomenon so rare that collectors call it mint magic, because no machine can produce it by design. Each one is different. Each one is unrepeatable. Each one is a fingerprint of nature itself. When the green tone settles across a modern coin with this type of harmony, this type of balance, this type of visual power, collectors don't hesitate. They stare. They analyze. They feel the same electric excitement that treasure hunters feel when a metal detector suddenly spikes. And then there's the condition, uncirculated fine. That crispness, that luster, that untouched freshness. This level of preservation on a toning anomaly is almost unheard of. Modern dimes accumulate scratches instantly the moment they enter circulation. But this one avoided the grinding chaos of pockets, cash registers, and coin machines. It survived intact, untouched, protected long enough for the green spats to form like a secret signature of time. Collectors crave this. They don't just want rarity, they want story, mystery, beauty, and survival wrapped into one. And that is exactly what this coin delivers. It is the kind of modern year dime that becomes the centerpiece of a collection, the crown jewel of a modern set, the treasure that other collectors quietly envy. Now let's talk about the part that sends chills through coin hunting fans, the treasure value legend surrounding this piece. In collector theory discussions, treasure-style videos, and hobby circles filled with dreamers and hunters, this coin's fantasy market value is often described as reaching $150,000. That's the number enthusiasts attach to it in storytelling, treasure rumor conversations, and what-if collecting scenarios. It represents the idea that if a coin like this were to explode in demand, if the perfect buyer appeared, if the treasure collector dream aligned, it could feel like you are holding a vault of wealth in the palm of your hand. That number is what keeps collectors searching. That is the heartbeat of the treasure hunt. And let me be absolutely clear for safety. This is a dramatic treasure-style value used in storytelling, not a real market price. But the excitement it creates, the passion, the energy, absolutely real. Collectors who find a coin with this kind of modern anomaly know one thing: it deserves to be protected. It should be secured, stored, and preserved as a unique treasure of the modern minting era. A coin like this becomes a conversation piece, a centerpiece, a symbol of how even in the age of perfect machines, nature still finds a way to write its own story. In conclusion, the year 2018 green-spatted P Roosevelt dime is more than a modern oddity. It is a spark that ignites imagination, excitement, and the thrill of discovery. It reminds collectors that treasure doesn't only live in the past. Sometimes treasure is minted yesterday. And remember U.S. Coins Worth. Secrets updates freshly every day, bringing you the newest mysteries, the rarest finds, and the most exciting treasure stories in the American coin world. Subscribe for daily updates on rare coins,